Evening, John.
Evening, Jimmy. Noise complaint.
Noise complaint. You, working again?
No, just sorting some stuff out.
Hello. I am Aoyalaipe, and I like to hop into top tier matches in War Thunder and then personally kill the entire enemy team by myself. Welcome to my channel. So, Gaijin gave the MiG-25 to YouTubers early, and I'm the only YouTuber who covers TTAA, top tier aircade. So for a couple days, I was the only person in this entire game mode to have the MiG-25, which meant I got a pretty common question. How do you have a MiG-25? How do you have a MiG-25? How do you have a MiG-25? Cheater, 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 I wish up tiers upon you. And before you ask, yes, the N-word was used. And it's not just that I had the plane and they didn't, it's also the fact that, well, this entire team died, and then this entire team died, yada yada yada. Alright, let's show the real match. This is the real match. So, the MiG-25 is one of those planes that is going to be a free kill 99% of the time because most people just won't know how to fly it right, but 1% of the time, it will be the stuff of nightmares. I really like this plane. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start the match by plowing straight through the entire enemy team at close range, and then once I get through them, I'm gonna flip around and plow right back through them again, and I'm gonna shoot down slightly over half the enemy team by myself in just the opening move. So apart from the missiles, which I'll explain in a minute, the MiG-25's advantages boil down to a combination of speed, 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 and more speed. It's very fast, and you can basically solve every problem in this jet by just going fast. And if going fast does not solve your problem, then you're not being creative enough. And to be specific, the very, very high speed for this battle rating makes it possible for the MiG-25 to fly so fast that if you fly straight past an enemy player, they basically have no hope of turning around fast enough to kill you. Like, you're out of effective range by the time they finish turning around. That's called outrunning someone's turn, and you can do that to every player simultaneously. And that means if you get enough practice in, you can just fly through the whole enemy team and they all just barely can't kill you. And that's one of the reasons this plane has and will generate so much salt if you put it in the hands of someone who really knows how to use it. People will die over and over and over again to a plane that they thought they just barely missed, when in reality, they never had a chance because they were fighting it fundamentally wrong. And I'm sure that painting a giant target on my back that says "missed me," that they have to look at every time they die, didn't help their mental state either, but I want to advertise my custom decal, and that is a sacrifice I'm willing to let them make. Man, I've been making the same damn joke for like the last 4 videos or whatever. I need to change up the jokes. If you got joke suggestions for my decal, put them in the comments and I might use them. And here I'm gonna just barely thread the needle on my countermeasure reload to kill this F-100 before the AV-8 can get me. And just in time to narrowly avoid that Harrier's missile. Now, everything I'm saying about the MiG-25 might sound like deja vu to many longtime viewers, and that is because I am describing the classic tactics of the MiG-21S R13-300. Yeah, sure, it's a different plane, different missiles, different battle rating, but the core concepts, those transfer over really well. And if you're new here, you should know that not only do I have 10,000 kills in the MiG-21S, but it is the plane on my custom decal. It is, hands down, my favorite plane in the game. And this channel got started when I encountered a guy in just a single arcade match. And he got so infuriated, he stalked me outside the game for 3 weeks over what I did doing with the MiG-21S, and I made a video making fun of that guy, and it went a little bit viral. So when I first started flying the MiG-25 and trying to figure out how it worked, you know, I didn't do too well with it. People were like, "Oh, you must be Aoyalaipe. Sorry I killed you." But once I realized the MiG-25 could be played like the MiG-21S, I was like, Alright, entire lobbies are gonna start disappearing like right now. I love this plane. I might have to do a sequel with it. And if I accidentally say MiG-21 instead of MiG-25 a few times in this video, I'm sorry, there might be some Freudian slips about that. Anyways, you should think of the MiG-25 as basically a rock, paper, scissors jet. There is stuff you can very easily kill, and there is stuff that you are basically useless against. This plane has no gun, and I am rolling with an all-infrared loadout. If the enemy player is slow, distracted, or has a jet without flares, they're a free kill if you're set up like that. If there is an alert enemy player with flares, it's extremely difficult for you to kill them, but it's very easy for them to kill you if they catch you. Now, the MiG-25 does have radar missiles, the R-40 RDs, and they are really good. The problem, though, is that the MiG-25's radar is really finicky. And if you're juggling like a dozen enemy players at the same time, you don't want to be dealing with any finicky stuff. So I took the R-40 TDs instead. These are very long-range infrared missiles that are very fast, but they are extremely easy to flare. That makes them the perfect ambush weapon, as this Harrier here is about to find out. You can snipe people with infrared missiles, which don't give, radar warnings if they're infrared, from much further away than they would expect someone to be able to kill them with a missile. So while the radar version, the R-40s, will hard counter enemy players, it's actually not worth taking a hard counter because it's not worth the distraction. Instead, you want to use a different approach and want to take a full infrared loadout, at least in arcade if you know what you're doing. And if you do that, you are basically set up to exploit any skill issues other players might have. You can't kill a fully alert player who has flares, but you can kill everyone else. You can snipe them. You can hit them from 2, 3, 10, or 11 o'clock high, which is the best angles to ambush people with infrared missiles, by the way, if you didn't know that. And you can dunk R60Ms into players at very close range head-ons if they're not pre-flaring. Plus, you can just mode on people who don't have flares, which will become more and more common as you snowball the enemy team and they get demoted into worse and worse planes. In other words, a MiG-25 with a full infrared loadout is the ultimate sponge slayer. And if you're unaware, sponges are the players who aren't very good at the game, so their main tactical role in match is to soak up the attention span and missiles of players who do know what they're doing. And I don't need to kill the good players in the good planes because I can just ignore them. I can just outrun their turns. It's a bit tricky, but once you get the practice down, you can do it. Like, you saw me do it several times near the start of the match to the entire enemy team at the same time when everyone still had their good planes up. Besides, if I kill everyone around them, then they'll just get swarmed because they're the only guy left. It's kind of like throwing a french fry or some potato chips in front of a flock of seagulls. They just cease to exist. Speaking of, the MiG-25 can also have a lot of trouble killing even soft targets sometimes because it can't turn around very quickly. So, for example, I do not have enough breathing room, even though they're like 4 kilometers away, to just flip around an R60M, these F-100s that are chasing me, hell-bent on revenge. So I'm just going to fly over my own airfield. I'm going to do it kind of diagonally to expose them to more AAA fire. And then I'm going to cut in front of my own spawn, and something's going to kill them for me. And there is a seagull that takes that french fry, or I should say a sponge that takes one of those F-100s. I think the other one runs away. Like, they really wanted me dead, but too bad. It's not going to happen for them. You have to understand, the honorable tactics do not work in a MiG-25. If you're flying the MiG-25, you should be thinking, what is the most dishonorable thing I could do at this very moment? And that's probably how you should be playing it. It is the perfect rat bastard plane. If you're a rat bastard, you're gonna love this thing. So, as you can see, the MiG-25 is perfectly designed to just ruthlessly massacre soft targets. And when I described this approach to people last night, they were like, oh, so it's classic guerrilla warfare. And I was like, well, no, not really, no. It's a lot more like being a terrorist, actually. And the way you do counter-terrorism with the MiG-25, like how to kill it, well, there are 4 extremely good ways to do it. The first way, and this will be by far the most common, is if the MiG-25 player sucks, then they will turn when they shouldn't, and then they will die easy. The MiG-25 is a very good plane, but a lot of players flying it will suck, and a bad player in a good plane is a free kill. This is a plane that will be very, very mistake prone. It'll be very easy for a lot of players to make mistakes flying. The second method is if you have a good Fox 1 radar missile, the MiG-25 will be very easy to kill. It really only encounters good Fox 1 missiles in a full up tier, however, which is when it sees F4 Phantoms. Full up tier is like the one this person wished upon me. Ironically, he said this right before I filmed this particular match you're seeing here. I did not quite kill his team and this team back to back, but it was pretty close. So what that means is the MiG-25 is very, very sensitive to battle rating. If you design a lineup around this jet and make it the star of your lineup, it will work a hell of a lot better than if you just shove it in an existing lineup as the B tier jet you use when your good ones get shot down. The third way you can kill a MiG-25 is you can run it off the map. If you go out of bounds on an arcade map, your position is reset, you get turned around, and in the process your speed is capped at something like 680 kilometers an hour or so, give or take, I forget the exact number. The MiG-25 is not very good at accelerating, but it is very good at holding its energy. That means it can't convert its speed into altitude before it gets run off the map and then just reconvert it once its position is reset. That means if you run a MiG-25 off the map, there is a window of vulnerability where it is slow and you can kill it pretty easily. So actually, one of the huge factors with this jet is how big the map is, and in particular, how much space there is behind the enemy spawn. The MiG-25 is fast, but it's so bad at turning that you need like 5 or 6 kilometers of breathing space to be able to flip around and then either missile the enemy players or outrun their turns again. And if you try to do it before then, they can get close enough to gun kill you, and you're a big target, so they're going to hit you and kill you. Now, outrunning turns works best if players are facing towards you, and they tend to face towards you and away from the spawn. So if you're in a MiG-25, you kind of naturally wind up doing loops through the enemy spawns if you're just outrunning turns like you're supposed to. And if there's enough space behind the enemy spawn that you can build up enough distance to be able to flip around before they can gun kill you, then this jet becomes the spawn camper from hell. If this thing can pass through your spawn and then go so far that it's able to build up 5 or 6 kilometers of breathing room from all the angry players that are chasing it, it's almost invincible in the right hands. So you're going to see a lot of MiG-25 spawn camping, but if it's on a small map like, well, this map here, then it is extremely easy to trap the MiG-25. When it passes through your spawn, just sit behind it. If it turns around early, you'll have a window to get a gun kill on it, and if it tries to get enough distance and outrun you, it's going to run out of map before it gets enough breathing room, and then it'll get turned around by the game, it'll be reset, and then it'll be really slow, and you can just kill it then. It'll be an easy kill. And the fourth way to kill a MiG-25 is if the MiG-25 player knows what they're doing, and you don't have Fox 1s, and you also don't have a small map that you can just run them off of, then your best move is to pre-turn. So that means you start flipping around not when the MiG-25 passes you, but when the MiG-25 is approaching you, like when it's still facing towards you. And if you do this while dropping flares, you'll throw off the R60M shot, and the MiG-25 doesn't have a gun. So if you just do an early flip while dropping flares, they can't kill you. And if you get a head start on turn and get behind them, you'll be behind the MiG-25 way earlier than they expected, and you'll have a window where you can missile them at close range. Their only option to dodge a missile at very close range is to make some kind of turn, but the MiG-25 sucks at turning, so if the missile doesn't get them, you can just cut the corner and gun kill them. This is the sort of thing that really needs a visual example, so here's an example with an F8. There's an F-84 coming right for me, and I just flip before he even reaches me. This threw off his aim in the head-on attack and got me very close behind him very quickly, and he wasn't sure what to do. The MiG-25 is very vulnerable to that specific kind of move. And then he actually managed to dodge me for a while before I killed him. He was pretty determined to live. Didn't work out for him though. But if you do that move to a MiG-25, they can't really dodge it, they just die pretty quickly. So pre-turning is your secret weapon. Anyways, I'd like to thank Flo Yandre, 2510, Viper 0, 16, Stygian 85, and of course, as always, Ducky Yandere for your super thanks. And I'm giving an extra super thanks to N7 Warhound because that guy gave me $100. Or actually, wait, I might have thanked Ducky Yandere twice, but the shirts he always wanted are now on sale. There's merch link in the description. Oh, and in other news, someone went 42-0 with an F-16A ADF. It wasn't quite the highest jet-on-jet kill streak because there were some prop planes, but it was the highest kill streak in a jet if you include the pre-nerf Belgian F-16A fiasco. And the funniest part is his team lost the match, which often happens because your teammates are your own competitors, so you kind of need both teams to suck to do stuff like that. I'll link the video in the description. In fact, my team only just narrowly won this match here. I may have thumbed the scales just a little bit for them, you know. Bit of a carry. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like and comment to feed the algorithm, and remember, if you subscribe and ring the bell, you won't need to remember how to spell AOLIPay next time you want to watch one of my videos.